Good morning, kids. Hooty hoo! It's the first Monday of every month again. Yay! Another month's gone by. We made it. Perfect. So anyway, we Sam Tran, my brother Sam Tran, he is gracious enough to come in and give us some of his time. You know, he's a busy guy. He's all over the place and graciously comes in here and we get to talk about ways that we can make a difference. And I'll tell you what, kids, today is going to be an episode that is going to rock people's worlds when they see how this works, what this is all about. And I want to go ahead and get right into it because this is going to take pretty much about half an hour or so to get through this. But what we're going to do here, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share desktop too. Okay, can you see my screen up here?
Yep.
Okay, good. So what we've got here is we've got this boards app. This is something that is part of our system. If somebody decides they want to utilize this, whether they come on with $25 and just get a card, start utilizing the card to double their spending power, or if they decide they want to own their own bank. If they want to own their own bank, they can do that as well. But here's how it all starts out. We've got this little funnel, and it's the Transact card digital experience. And you can go into this on your computer or through the app on your phone that you will have available on your phone. All of this stuff is free. So when you're wanting to send somebody some information about this, you come here and you select the digital experience that you want to send. And this one right here, this one is a funnel. This one right here is basic. This one here is one-to-one. This one is one that you send out to somebody individually. They are both exactly the same. It's just a matter of what they say when you get it. This one here says, you got to see this. And this one here says, Sam, you got to see this. So I'm gonna go to that one, and it brings up this little page right here, and I'm gonna say that my prospect is Sam Tran. And I've already pre-filled all the information in down here. And I'm going to create a link. And then I'm going to copy that link. And then I'm going to go over to Facebook. And I'm going to go to Messenger. And I'm going to go to my brother Sam Tran. And I'm going to send him that link.
Okay.
Okay, now Sam, you're going to get that link. And when you get that link, what I want you to do is I want you to share your screen, and we're going to run you through the experience.
Okay, let me see here.
And let me there we go. You got sharing capability. So bring that link up on your computer and then share your screen, and we're going to give kids a
Maybe
right.
it's got me logged out. So me log in. Let me find my login here for Facebook. But JJ, maybe we take a step back and kind of like address why we're talking about finance today.
Context.
Context. Because obviously the economy's kind of going bad here, right? It's pretty challenging out there. And so I think there's a lot of people that are looking for another way to make income, another way to start some kind of business, just another way to make money.
Yeah.
And so if you can save money, one of the reasons why I got involved with Enagic, because I realized that medical debt and medical bankruptcy is a real deal. It's not just some it's not some pie in the sky idea. It actually happens to a lot of people, right? And so we can preserve our health by drinking the right water. I mean, I'm already doing it. I might as well drink something better. I might as well get paid for it. But these machines are a little bit expensive, right? They're not $39. They're $39.
Seemingly expensive.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you put it in, when you put it into in relation to your health, when you put it in that perspective, yeah, compared to lunch that you buy every day, yeah, it's crazy expensive. But compared to one night in the hospital, yeah, this is pretty cheap. Right?
Right.
It's a cheap insurance policy. And so the context today is like how to afford these machines. And JJ, you're presenting one way that people could use. I'm going to share something here, and then JJ, you go back and share, because I can't. I don't know, for some reason it logged me in, but I'm going to share my screen here real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of the ways I got my machine was I used one of these one of these 0% interest credit cards. We are taught that debt is bad, and generally debt is bad. When you are living above your means, when you're driving cars or you're living in houses and you're just spending more than you make, that's a huge problem. But if you pay your bills on time, if you're a good credit risk, that means you have access to these 0% interest credit cards, right? And what I did was I thought about buying my KONGen machine as a business, So I only paid $86 for my KONGen machine, you guys, So at the time the K was out, but I didn't want to, I usually don't buy the first generation of anything. So I bought the SD501. So that was $3,900, $3,980, so almost $4,000 plus tax. That's another $300 on top, so it's $4,300. So I got one of these 0% interest credit cards, and then I put the whole purchase on that card, right? And then I paid the 1% minimum, which is $43 the first month. Did a bunch of demos. The second month, I did a bunch of demos. Now, granted, my demos are a little different. I do them every Tuesday on Zoom here, but I was able to get the information across to about 9 or 10 people. And after trying water for 30 days, they all bought machines. And in that third month, I got my referral checks, and I used it to pay off my credit card. Right. So in total, I only out of pocket was only $86. Right. And so that was a big aha moment for me, because I was already testing out how to break free from the matrix, like how to get my mind to, because everyone wants to be free, but their mind can't get there. They still got to pay the bills. Right.
Yep.
The saying is you work 9 to 5 to pay the bills, and from 6 to midnight to on your wealth, right?
Yeah.
Well, why couldn't my 9 to 5 be this? Why couldn't my 9 to 5 be KONGen, right? And that's what, and so when I proved that concept to myself, that's by using one of these credit cards. And granted, I didn't go out and buy some new gadgets or new wheels for my car or anything like that. So and that's what people need to know, that we have to have multiple ways of earning money, not just one job. But let me stop share there. So
I love that. I mean, hold on a second, Sam. I want to expand upon this, because somebody that wants to get that machine, they want to use what you just talked about right there. I know that McGaffin and I have been utilizing the Chase Freedom card, where they give out there. If you go to creditcards.com, there's a whole bunch of 0% cards, and one of them is the Chase Freedom, and they give you 15 months interest free, and your payment on a K8 is going to end up being a little over $50 a month. And what we recommend to people is pay like $86 a month for that 15 months, and every single penny you pay goes towards the card, goes towards the principal of your machine, right? And then at the end of 15 months, on your 14th month, you paid extra money every month on your payment, and so they're gonna do another 0% for you because you've shown that you're a good person, you know, you're doing a great job paying your bill, right? So they're gonna extend you, and they'll extend you for another 24 months at 0%. So that gives you 39 months, and at $85 a month that you're paying, you're at the end of that time frame, your machine is paid off, and you now own the machine outright, and you've done it with 0% interest over that 29-month period of time. That's just another option that somebody can utilize. And quite frankly, I bought my machine. Tina and I, when we saw the video about it, Tina goes, well, I'll buy half if you buy half. And I said, all right, let's buy it. And so we bought it outright. And in retrospect, if I'd had it to do again, I would have used a 0% card like the one with Chase Freedom. Had I known about that it existed, that we could go that route. And that way we could keep, instead of buying it outright, you could buy it that way. And then,
exactly.
and then we're going to get into the Transact card.
Yeah.
What I would do now.
True. And then if you fly or you like to take vacations, like get one of those airline credit cards, the ones that give you whatever
double
50,000
bonus miles.
The flyer frequent 50,000 miles, and usually a trip is like 30,000 miles or something like that. And then the clauses, I think you have to spend like $2,000 within the first 6 months or something. Well, you're gonna put the whole machine on the card and work it, work the business.
And today, when I'm talking about that though, Sam, by the way, as far as using the 29-month, $85 a month, that's for people who they just want the machine. They don't want to tell anybody about it. They don't want to do the business. They just want to have their machine. I've sold many a machine to people who do not want to deal with selling it or telling anybody about it. So for those people, this is one of their options, and so if somebody wants to earn it by doing what you're talking about, then they can earn it that way.
Yeah, and I think it's never been easier to do this business now because because of the pandemic and because of technology. I mean, we're sitting in 3 different states.
Yeah.
Right here on this Zoom, and I do my demo every Tuesday. This week I think this week it's 7 p.m. Next week it'll be 5 p.m. or something like that. But I alternate times just for the East Coast people. But I exist digitally now. I don't drive. I mean, I drive around still and go meet people just because I like to go meet people. I'm a social person, but I don't have to, and it's got me out of this whole mindset of trading my time for dollars. I trade information for dollars, and we're in the information age. If you're still trading time for dollars, then you might have some money and you might be money poor, because everything costs more, but you also might be time poor. A lot of my very rich and wealthy friends, they have no time, because they earn too much, right? And so they just have no time to go play, and that's another poorness out there is being time poor. So, but let's get into this program here as a possible way to get your KONGen machine. So you want to go ahead and just play the video. I couldn't log on to my Facebook right now, but maybe share your screen.
Yeah, so I'll share screen and I'll show you what you would have gotten. Actually, it'll be a little bit different because what I'm going to do is play the one that is generic instead of the one that I sent you. The one I sent you is actually addressed to you. And so let's see, what are you seeing? You seeing this screen with the learn how to 25 into a free KONGen Water Ionizer? Is that what you're seeing?
Yep.
Okay, so I need to go here to this one, and you see right here where it says you need to see this.
Yep.
In the other version that I sent you, it says, Sam, you need to see this. It's personalized
Okay.
to an individual. This one right here, this one is the funnel one that you send out to, you know, groups or whatever. You know, I've shared it out a few times on Facebook and that. And, you know, this is all approved by the company to be able to share out. So here we go.
Last year, as we all swiped our cards, banks cashed in, raking in a whopping $3.1 billion in fees alone. Meanwhile, retail prices shot through the roof and retailers saw record earnings. But what about the average American? They didn't get the same boost. Instead, many were left penny pinching to deal with those soaring costs. This isn't the American dream. Something needs to change, and it needs to change now. Meet Transact Card. Now, banking changes forever. Just like Uber disrupted transportation and Amazon disrupted retail, Transact Card is here to disrupt banking with unparalleled rewards and positive social impact. But how? Here are 3 game-changing reasons. First, the Transact Card. While it may appear as just an ordinary Visa bank card, the card is packed with extraordinary features, including an exceptionally generous rewards match. You've probably seen other cards with a typical offer like a 1%, 2%, or even 5% rewards match on purchases. But guess how much Transact Card matches?
What's that? You have to move the bar or something?
Hmm?
JJ, the video.
Yeah. So you have to submit a guess.
Okay.
Good guess, but it's actually a mind-blowing 100%. That's right. For every dollar you spend, Transact Card rewards you with a 1-for-1 match in Z-Bucks. Every dollar you spend earns you an equal amount in Z-Bucks. Every purchase, every day. Imagine doubling your buying power and making the money you are already spending go twice as far. Number 2, enter Z-Bucks and Z-Club. Spend $127 on groceries. Get 127 Z-Bucks. Use these Z-Bucks to buy down the price on hundreds of thousands of items in Transact Card's vast online marketplace called Z-Club. Shop national brands and everyday items from dish soap to diapers to fashion, luxury, and even travel. And 3, reinvesting in its members. In a world where most banks prioritize shareholder profits, Transact Card prioritizes member benefits, from zero cash flash sales to Z-Bucks offers and more. Transact Card is breaking the mold, putting customers first and giving them a financial boost. Now that's disruption. A disruption that's quickly gaining traction with more than 20,000 Americans already enrolled with Transact Card. And that's just during its pre-launch phase. Brace yourself for Transact Card's official launch coming this November. So how can you be part of the Transact Card revolution? Order your Transact Card today. For just $25, you'll receive 500 Z-Bucks on your very first card swipe. Plus, during our pre-launch phase, you'll earn double Z-Bucks on all purchases for an entire year after the launch. And the best part, your $25 annual fee is waived forever. Or become a digital branch office. As a cardholder, you can apply to participate in Transact Card's income opportunity by becoming a digital branch office. As a DBO, you earn from purchases made by those affiliated with your unique Transact Card digital branch. Just picture it. It's income rolling in with every Transact Card swipe and every Z-Club transaction made via your digital branch office. Whether you're an entrepreneur, gig worker, or stay-at-home parent, Transact Card may be just the right fit for you to finally supplement your income. Click to learn more. Lastly, spread the word. Don't keep the good news of Transact Card a secret. Let friends, family, and colleagues in on the incredible value of Transact Card. For only $25, they can also start doubling their buying power too. The time to join the Transact Card revolution has never been better. Join today and be part of helping your family and friends double their buying power.
So that one's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And then if somebody wants to learn more, they want to learn about the digital branch office. If they're just wanting to get the card, they just click join now. And this is linked to you. And even the Transact card members, they, after launch here in November, they are actually going to be able to recruit people as well that'll go onto their team. And every time they sign somebody up with a Transact membership of $25, they get, as soon as that person makes their first swipe, they get 500 Z-Bucks, and so does the person who made the swipe.
Okay, so a couple of questions here, JJ.
Okay.
So does it function like a credit card where you pay an annual percentage card or a rate or something like that?
It's a Visa card. There's no annual fee. I mean, there is an annual fee if you get your card after November 1st.
No, not the fee, the interest rate. What's the interest rate on the card?
It's not a credit card, it's a debit card.
Oh, it's a debit card. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, it's a debit card. People use debit cards. I'm switching all of my automatic payments over to this card because I pay $120 water bill. I get 240 Z-Bucks back. And
okay.
I'm going to show you guys one thing I need to show you guys, and I think it's probably for the sake of this particular meeting, I think it would be more useful to us instead of going and learning about the digital branch office. What I want to do is show everybody what these two things combined together can do. And I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm going to let the two founders of the company, Peter Rancy and Richard Smith, do the explaining. And I've got the thing loaded up, ready to go, right to the point where it needs to be shown from, to save everybody a little bit of time. Anybody that wants to get this whole video, all they've got to do is just let me know, and I can get them the link and they can watch the entire thing. But what we're going to do is watch a little section of it where Peter is talking about the banking side of this thing, because Peter is the banking guru. And Richard Smith, he is the network marketing and compensation plan guru. He's been doing compensation plans for network marketing companies for 40 years. And he's put together by far and away the best compensation plan that you're ever going to see. It's going to blow your mind. And I'm going to let those guys explain it to you, because I don't want to explain it. I want to let them do it. So I'm going to just switch right over to here. This is Peter Rancy, and I'm going to full screen this thing and let Peter go through from here through his talk about what's going on with the actual bank itself and how it's protected and everything. This is exciting stuff. You guys check it out. Here we go.
And you will see that the promises that we made at the beginning, the value of a Z-Buck, the ability to double your buying power by earning a Z-Buck through every dollar you spend, will be there in full force. Now, we need banking rails, but banking's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the value of a Z-Buck in the Z Club. Just be there at the finish. You're building a small business, and maybe you're building a big business. It requires effort, it requires sustained effort, it requires commitment, and you have to decide what you believe. Do you believe yourself that you joined the right ecosystem, the right team? I do, and congratulations to all of you who've joined the Transact card family in pre-launch. But you have to stay there. Play to the end of the game, play the last seconds, and we'll all win together. Now, Dave, you can turn to that slide. Thank you. Here's the news. The Easy Power Card, we got that done. The contract signed in September 23, and it will be available to you when we launch the app, no later than Wednesday of next week. Richard is going to deal with far more detail than that. I'm just passing through that. but that brings hundreds of America's greatest retailers into your world, and it keeps the commissions going and it keeps the Z-Bucks going. Now, the next one. Your Visa cards will be available in November. The contract is signed. The bank, the platform and the banks are signed. That will be available to you in November. That's awesome. The next one. The full banking platform that allows us to do everything that we want to do, all of the ACHs and wires and money in and out, with all of the ways to fund accounts, will be in your hands pre-Christmas 2023, contract signed. And the next one, Dave, our own bin on our own timetable. The memorandum of understanding is signed. Now, what I want to do at the moment, before I continue on what's happening on the banking side, I want to give some shout outs. The HQ team has been extraordinary. And I want to particularly mention Jared Moss, who's particularly while I was down in Australia. He carried the load in terms of bringing out our new partners to the table, and he's having a well-earned vacation down in Lake Powell at the moment. So if Jared and his family can hear what we're saying at the moment, hey, Jamie and kids, your dad and your husband are awesome. So we're glad that Jared Moss is part of the team, but Dewey and Barbie and all of the rest of the team have been instrumental in bringing these new partners to the table so that the promise that we made when we began Transact Card will be fulfilled. Now, I just want to mention a couple of things about the banking system. The banking system is a mess. I talk about this all the time. It works, you can get money from here to there, but why is it that we've shrunk from 20,000 banks in the USA to a little over 4,000 at the moment, and it's still shrinking? Because there are forces working against the community banking end in particular to undermine it. So if we've set out to change the world of community banking a bit by bringing new banks into our platform, and it gets a little bit hard along the journey, think about the tectonic forces that are at work in the banking system in the United States to make it shrink, to make those banks go away. Maybe it's intentional in some cases, and maybe it's not in other cases. But those forces are massive. They're kind of like a tidal wave. So the fact that we're able to do what we set out to do and put on your screen there the roadmap that will get us everywhere that we want to go is kind of incredible in one way, but it's just par for the course in the other way. We're working against massive forces, and the mission is right, and the team is right. And if you will stick with the team and we will stick with you, then we'll get where we need to go. Just want to mention a couple of other things. Yesterday, we finally enacted the formalization of the trust.
This is huge right here, you guys.
We've had it as an
Huge.
informal trust from the time of launch, but yesterday we formalized the Finmo trust that preserves your rights and this entire entity 100% owned by the trust and protected by the trust for 399 years. You get that? 399 years. Now, if any of us are here to worry about what will happen in the 400th year, well, you know, good luck with that. Maybe the millennium will have come by then. My point is that everything that we said that we would do, we're doing. We've enacted that trust. We've formalized it so that what would normally go to shareholders in a profitable system, and it is a profitable system, all roll back 100% into member benefits. And it's been preserved in such a way that it's never for sale, so that your incomes, as you build them, are also preserved. The only way you'll lose those incomes is if you go away, if you make the choice to upend the roots and then check them out and kill the plant for yourself. But we've done what we said we would do in terms of the trust. We've done what we said we would do in terms of enabling the banking platform to be on rails and take its course. And so my final comment is, having laid out that plan, you can take that to the bank, those dates on the screen, because it's all been enacted already. There are mechanics to work through, there's tech to work through. That's why it's not available right now today, all of it. But the contracts and the agreements and the roadmap are all there. And if that doesn't give you incentive to go out and build, I don't know what will. Just stay the course, and you have to decide what you're going to believe. You're going to believe. I saw a couple of stories yesterday that to me looked like they were generated by artificial intelligence and had no human hand whatsoever, and were loaded with errors and assumptions and just plain falsehoods. And there are those who have been calling the game in the first quarter, and the game's nowhere near over. You have to decide if you trust yourself. That's what it comes down to. But I trust myself to stay the course. I trust Richard to stay the course, and Jared and Dewey and Bill and all of the rest of the team. And kudos to Eric and all of the leadership of the field for bringing us to this point. So stay the course, decide what you believe. I believe that the journey has only just begun and will just get better and better and better. And the rails, the dates, the commitments that you're looking at on your screen in front of you right now mean that we get to launch, and we'll be able to open the Z Club, and the value of a Z Buck will be $1. You spend $1 anywhere, you earn a Z Buck, and the value of a Z Buck in the Z Club will be $1, and get to spend them, and you'll love the spending of them. That's my message. Stay the course, believe in yourselves, and we'll get there together. And so, Richard, over to you to take us to the next step on some of the more of the detail.
This is
Thank
where it
you,
gets
Peter.
freaking
It's
awesome
a
sauce.
great pleasure of mine to work with a gentleman like Peter, all the people that are a part of HQ, and quite frankly, all of you that are on the Zoom here. It's my privilege to work with all of you and to see what we're doing together. This co-creation of what's happening is going to revolutionize the world truly one swipe at a time. Now, I announced Monday Easy Power Card, and I didn't do a good enough job, and I was cutting out. So I'm going to go over it one more time. This is the functionality of the card that we talk about briefly, but we're now going to talk about in depth, and so you understand the power of the Transact card ecosystem. We're much more than a bank and a reward system. This card and everything we're doing, there's a reason we say now banking changes forever. This is going to change the world, because that little green card not only gives you $1 for dollar buying power, which, yes, that's the mechanism that makes the belief level go through the roof. So people use the Transact card for their primary card because they don't have a reward like anything they've ever cited. Inside the ecosystem, however, next slide, Dave, is Easy Power Earn and Save card. What is that? It's a digital environment inside our app where you can go pick out of 330 different merchants, from Amazon to Walmart to Target to Starbucks to you name it. We're going to be able to do this. And why is this so important? Well, every time you buy one of those cards, it helps that merchant, not with their merchant fees, as well as their advertising costs. So when you buy a Starbucks card, not only will you get $1 for dollar Z-Buck, or right now it's a 2-for-1 Z-Buck, but when you buy that card, you're also going to receive power savings. It can be anywhere from 50 basis points or half a point, all the way up to 4 and 5% of your purchase price. And here's the coolest thing about what happens with inside the app with Easy Power Earn and Save. You can give them away. So you can actually go back one day. I'm almost there. You can actually go and send a card out, customized with your face on it. Down the track, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be able to say, here's a $10 Easy Power card that you can have Starbucks on me. But they don't have to choose Starbucks. You're sending your Easy Power card to them via text. It's all electronic, and they can choose what they want. Let's say they want to go to Olive Garden instead of Starbucks and spend that $10. They're going to be able to do it. When you purchase that card, you make both Z-Bucks and power savings. Folks, this is the power of the Transact card ecosystem. Not only do you have the best reward system on the planet for any card, you also have a mechanism that will actually create savings for you without even having to think about it. All you have to do is, I'm going to eat out. Tell me where to eat. And it'll give you hundreds of restaurants that are all national brands. From Ruth Chris all the way through. Go to the next slide, Dave, now. So there are all these merchants: Apple, GameStop, Best Buy, Nintendo, H&M, Burlington Coat Factory, Old Navy, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more. So all you do is you go buy your Easy Power card, roll it over onto one of these gift cards, and it all happens with inside the app. You don't have to wait for the card. It all happens digitally. So you go to CVS and you got to buy a prescription. You buy a CVS card. Boom. You take it to the counter. They scan it, and it's a gift card. And you made double. You made your Z-Bucks, and you also made power savings. This is the power of the mechanism of what we're doing. When we say now banking changes forever, we mean it. This is a certainty of what you're doing inside the whole ecosystem. You have the ability to power save now, as well as receive Z-Bucks from multiple merchants across the board. Here's the next thing. What a recruiting tool. You think about bringing on TCMs, buy them a gift card. But we're also going to have a Z Club card. Yes, you heard that right. We've all talked about it. Can we transfer Z-Bucks back and forth to people? The answer is yes. Not only are you going to be able to do this, now this is down the track. This will be after launch, but I need to give you a vision of what this is. So let's say you've got 14,000 Z-Bucks, and you want to tear off 500 Z-Bucks and send it to your uncle or your cousin for a Christmas gift. They'll be able to use those Z-Bucks and buy a trip or buy some diapers or buy whatever they want inside the Z Club. What an opportunity for them to get a feel of what's happening inside the Z Club and why they want to get their hands on the Transact card and the ecosystem. Next slide, Dave. So we've changed some of the names to make it a little bit more congruent and a little bit more exciting. So it's Easy Power card and its functions. So there's Easy Up. That's the roundup mechanism that you can turn on or turn off. So when you swipe your Transact card, the Easy Up is we round up to the nearest dollar. We do that with the Z-Buck anyway. So if you go into 7-Eleven and you spend $11.12, that balance of 88 cents will absolutely roll up and go from your checking account into your power savings account and get the interest that's going to be quite remarkable. And Peter will be announcing that at the national event. Then there's Easy Back. That's what I just showed you with all those merchants and all those merchants that want you to be able to buy their gift card inside our app, use it with your cell phone, get the discount or get the Z-Bucks that you earned, also get some power savings that will drop right to it. And of course, guys, every time somebody buys one of these power save cards, you're also going to get paid because they're earning Z-Bucks. You get paid when they earn Z-Bucks, and of course when they redeem Z-Bucks. And then Easy Bonus, most of you don't even realize this one, but when you go into Z Club and you purchase it with a Z-Buck, with a Transact card product, meaning you use our ecosystem to buy your products inside a Z Club. In other words, the debit card or some of the other products we ring out, you're going to get 2% cash back for the entire purchase of whatever you're buying at Z Club. So let's talk about those Nikes we always talk about, and they sell for $120, and you're going to use 50 Z-Bucks and get them for $70 cash. You're going to get 2% cash into your Power Savings account, your Power Play, and start Power Plus in with that purchase. So it happens both outside when you use the vendors, the easy back, as well as easy bonuses when you redeem Z-Bucks inside a Z Club. Next slide, Dave. We've done some of our due diligence and talk about perfect timing. Gift cards are over 40% of gifts that are bought. Go gift cards get bought. You'll notice on this diagram everything from TJ Maxx to Olive Garden to Amazon.com to Starbucks, even American Airlines. And if you look actually on the phone itself in the app, there's even a Walmart one there, as well as a Best Buy. There's going to be over 300, and yes, we're launching it this Wednesday. No later than this Wednesday, we're going to get the vice presidents to test it out first. And this is step one of bringing the entire ecosystem together with the Transact card and the Power card, Easy Power card. I've never seen anything like it. And that's why banking changes forever. Let me just say this. Guys, most of this sales, and Peter alluded to it, most of this sales eventually is going to be not about Transact card and ecosystem. Most of the sales that you're going to have to do is selling yourself on yourself and selling others on themselves. And that's not an easy thing. And we're going to talk about it at every point we can. We're going to self-improvement every point we can. We're going to be a franchise. The franchise rules really suit us. We feel very confident that that's going to be something that you can hang your hat on. To be an owner, operator of a franchise sounds a whole lot better than I'm just a distributor somewhere. And we really like that type of atmosphere as we move forward and make you all professionals at sharing the love and helping other people change their lives one swipe at a time. And with that, I'm going to turn the time back over to Bill and let him finish this up with some of the promotions that we're going to run and extend. And with that, Bill, I turn the time back over to you. Hope everybody understands that there's Transact card, and then there's 2 additional cards that are coming inside the app. One is Easy Power card, and the other one's going to be the Z Club card. And both will be able to be given out as gifts and be a great, great recruiting tool for you to bring in, as well as DBOs. They'll say, wow, this is a cool thing for me to be able to function in. With that, Bill, I turn the time over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Rich.
So is that freaking crazy or what, huh? What'd you think of that?
There you go. There you go. I had to turn off my microphone. It's interesting. So it's a debit card, not a credit card, right? So you tie it to your bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then every dollar that you spend, you earn a Z-Buck.
Mm-hmm.
And so so once you have, let's say, 100 Z-Bucks, you use those Z-Bucks, those 100 Z-Bucks in like a Best Buy or something, and it can pay for your item, or it knocks the price down.
Yeah, as if you're using it through the Z Club card and you're buying that card through the app, and yes, you can take that card and go over to Best Buy and buy that product. And that's my whole point of this whole thing, and why it excites me so much about the prospects for helping people be able to get their KONGen machines, is that everything they buy, everywhere they go, they're going to get they're gonna get those Z-Bucks. And then whenever they need to go buy this, that, or the other, and they can use Z-Bucks to either buy it outright or buy the cost down. If they have the wherewithal and the desire, because all of this money that we're talking about, this is free money. This is money that they're getting for doing what they're doing with inside our ecosystem. And so that's money that's not coming out of their pocket. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. They don't have to pay that extra money for their shoes or whatever. And so they can buy the cost of the product down. And if they take that money and they're diligent, and their whole purpose for doing this is, I really want my Kong machine and I want to get it by doing what I'm already doing every day already. I'm paying my water bill, my electric bill, my gas bill, my phone bill, my internet bill, my Netflix bill, my gas, everything. Every single time you swipe a card, a little tiny piece of the puzzle of the pie goes into your Power Save account. Every single person, even if they start with $25, and every time they swipe that card, a little piece of that pie goes into their Power Save account. They can't touch that money because that's money that just goes in there, and it's not money that they've actually gone out and earned. The money that you go out and earn that goes into your, or you've purchased and goes into your Power Save account, that money will be more readily available. But the money that's just coming from the swipe itself, that goes into there from your piece of the pie, that money is locked up in the Power Save account in a compounding interest-bearing account that's going to be locked up for 5 years. But in 5 years, you're going to have a nice big chunk of money that you're going to be able to utilize depending on how much swiping you're doing. And that's just for somebody who doesn't want to tell anybody about any of this. They just want their card and they want to swipe it.
Okay,
And,
so
so
JJ, let me ask you something. So with a traditional credit card, every time you swipe, there's I think like maybe a 3% charge that the merchant gets hit with, right?
yeah.
And so that's why some merchants say cash only, right? Because they don't want to get hit with the 3%, right?
Yeah.
From that. And so when you swipe this card, there's someone that's making a percentage off the swipe too, right? The convenience factor, right?
Our bank.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then and so this essentially is well, it's like a transaction, like you're basically banking up the transaction fees, right? So every time someone swipes a card, you make a percentage of.
Yes.
Sure.
And here's the thing is that this bank, rather than doing what all the other banks do, which is build the biggest, fanciest building in every city and town of the world, and all of their shareholders and stockholders are driving their Beamers and running their big cars and whatever. And what this company, like he said, is we're taking this money and it's all protected by the trust. It has to happen this way. It's all set up and it can't really be changed. It's extremely, extremely difficult to change it. And it's all set up so it can't be sold out from under us. It can't be hijacked. It's set up and it's immutable. And so what they're doing is they're taking all that money that would normally go to building buildings and paying stockholders. It all goes back to us in the form of member benefits. By being part of this, we are the bank. And people can just do the card and literally by swiping that card for their normal. This is why I say you could turn that $25 into a free KONGen water machine. Every time for the next year, if you get your card before October 31st of this year, you will have that card for a whole year and you get double Z-Bucks. And what you do is you take every Z-Buck that you get and the money that you save from not having to spend that money, all of those Z-Bucks, you take that money, you be diligent, you do it, and that money that you save, it goes over here in that account to get that Kong machine. And you're also going to have money going in each time you use it into your power save account. And the money, like, I don't know if you caught it in there, but when you buy an AutoZone card or a Walmart card or a Cabela's card or any of those cards through the app, each one of these entities has agreed to give back a percentage of cash back on your purchase. So if you go to the Home Depot, you've got a $3,000 fence that you need to build. And when you buy it with the Transact card through the app, you get 6,000 Z-Bucks. Okay. And Home Depot gives you back 5% cash back. And that goes into your power save account. And you can leave it in there and let it keep earning interest for you, because like he said, it's going to be like the one thing is a 2% cash back interest bearing, and then there's something more that's coming up here at launch. And the launch is in Vegas at the Paris Hotel, and it's the 12th and 13th and 14th of November. And that's when they're going to bust everything out, and we're going to find out what that bonus interest rate's going to be. It's going to be really exciting. I've already got tickets to go down there. I've got a room at the Paris. I'm going, and anyway, you guys,
this is
there's one more thing I want to show you real quick before I want to share screen. I want to show you something, because you're going to really appreciate this. Because I know I do. I appreciate this something fierce. So I'm going to share this screen. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to open up this little screenshot I took here from one of our trainings. This right here is the community revenue bonus. This is one of the 3 ways that we actually make commissions. And what I think is cool about this is something that gets paid out every month. And if you work your way to manager, you become a digital branch office, you work your way to manager right here, before October 31st, you lock yourself into both of these commissions right here, which is up to $500 a month for the rest of your life. And this community bonus is all based off of the fees that get charged every month. They're taking that money, and this is how they're giving it back to us. Keep in mind, the managers right here, these are the lowest people on the totem pole. This right here, this is the president. This is the 6A2-3 and above, 6A4, whatever. This is all the big people in Enagic. This is the people below them. This is the people below them. This is the people below them. And this is all the 1As, 2As, 3As, everything through 5A, basically an equivalent. And every month you get a commission check based on the managers actually get 75% of the money, and they share that out amongst all the managers equally. And that's where your up to comes from. And then the senior managers, they get 10% divided amongst all of them. Same thing with the vice presidents, the senior vice 2.5. And you can see this is mind-boggling to me. Even though because there's more people in your downline and stuff, so there's actually more volume taking place. Even though you're getting a smaller percentage, you're still getting a large amount of monthly revenue. These are all up to these amounts. And so I've never seen a networking company in all of my 40 years of being in this realm where the lowest people on the totem pole get the largest percentage of the community of the entire pie. Like, to get a piece of the entire pie with Enagic, you've got to go all the way to 6A2-3 or above. And then every quarter you get a check for everything that's sold. And that's awesome. But this, you're getting a piece of the entire pie by simply signing up 3 DBOs or signing up 20 TCMs. And if you do that before October 30th, then your $50 service, not service fee, but your franchise and marketing fee Yeah, it's gone. You don't ever have to pay that for life. And then also they have a 10% service fee that they charge that comes out of the swipes. It's not money out of pocket. It's not money that you have to bill. What it is if you do $50,000 worth of swipes during the month, then they take 10% of that out. And if you get to manager before October 31st, they take that 10% out. 9% of it goes into your PowerSave account. The other 1% goes into the company's account. If you wait until November 1st to sign up and get to manager, then that 10% fee just goes to the company. But it's 10% of your swipes, not money that is actually, like, they're not billing you 10% physically out of your own pocket. It's just coming out of the
Okay.
commissions earned.
So JJ, some questions before we wrap up here. Can you turn off the share screen there?
Mhm.
So basically this is a chance to become a digital bank, I guess. Like you're becoming a part of a digital bank, correct? Or in essence, right? So
you're going to be a franchise owner. This is being franchised. Yeah.
In a digital bank, right? And so and then I know, because every time that you use a debit card, you're taking money from your bank account, right? Not someone, not a bill coming in 30 days or whatever, right? It's actually coming out of the bank account.
Yes.
Right. And that transaction, that swipe of your debit card, there's a convenience charge between usually Visa and then your well, I guess like Visa is giving you the credit line, right? But when you swipe this card, the money's going to come from your bank account directly. And then because you're swiping the card, there's a transaction charge, usually a percentage or 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's where they're paying that's where they're paying out to the digital branch, the franchise owners, correct?
Yes. Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then you're building, whatever travel points or whatever that's usually associated with a regular credit card in this, in the Z-Bucks, right? And then you're using that.
Yes.
It's a very interesting concept. It's, because you guys have heard of all these, do you guys know that Starbucks is a bank?
I didn't know that.
You can look that up. All these apps that you put $20 into your Starbucks app or something, or you load it with money, or you buy a credit card, not buy a credit card, you buy a gift card, right? What Starbucks does is they hold that cash, right? And they also lend it out. They function as a bank too. Yeah. It's quite interesting.
And you know what, Sam? This is something that's even more cool to me about all this, is that the ultimate plan of this company is to be a full service bank, where each one of us will be able to offer home loans, car loans, credit cards, and debit cards. And here's going to be the huge difference between the loan that we offer versus the loan that anybody can go get from any other bank. When you do a 30-year mortgage on your home, about the first 15 years is nothing but interest, unless you add a little bit of money to your payment every month. From day one, nothing goes towards the principal of your loan for like the first 10 to 15 years of your loan. Mm-hmm. With the Transact home loan, you are going to be getting money when you make that payment. Money is going to go towards the principal of your loan from day one, from payment one. And same thing with your credit card or your car loan, anything like that. It's all you're going to be, every time you use it, you're going to be paying yourself back. And so this is going to be something that is going to really rock the world. And they've set it up for 399 years in a trust.
Hmm.
And like Peter said, if this doesn't make you excited to do this, I don't know what the heck will.
Hmm.
And that's how I feel about it too. When Kevin Shabat showed this to me, I signed up that night. I was like, where's your link? Send me a link. I want on. It's $495. It's a freaking no-brainer. And you know, you put that 495 in, the first time you swipe your card, you're gonna get 500 Z bucks. That pretty much just took care of your 500 bucks that you put in. And then you know, now you're a bank. You are literally a bank. You want to down the road, like a couple of my friends, they're a young couple and they're living in a rental and they're looking to, you know, get a home loan. I told them you need to go get your bank. And then here in another year or two, when you're ready to buy your bank or buy your house, you're going to be able to issue your own home loan. And every time you make a payment, it's going to go towards the principal of your loan as well as whatever interest is being charged.
Interesting.
And so,
Well,
yeah, brother, this is something special. These guys are located 30 miles to my south down in Provo. I've gone down and met them in person. I've seen their facility. It's a very humble, small thing, you know. And I was like, I really appreciate that. It's not some giant fancy building. It's just a humble little place. And they said, you know, eventually down the road, we're going to build a nicer building and, you know, move out of this place. But that's down the road when we actually need it. And
Okay.
so, you know, it's this right here, brother, is the way that we can really, really help people. And
Yeah.
in a huge way, this is a way that people can keep up with inflation. And
Well, thank you, JJ, for sharing this concept, this idea. It's pretty new. I know there's a lot of things changing, and I think people need to understand that things are going digital. You know, you got to have your business online. You got to have your income stream online. You got to have, you know, you have to understand what's changing, right? Because if you're, you know, I think there's going to be two economies in the future: a very high tech economy, and probably a low tech economy, right? Because all the high tech people don't know how to fix things, right?
Yeah.
And so there would
You know,
be two economies, and so if you're caught somewhere in the middle, kind of not understanding the high tech, and then you also don't know how to, you know, turn a screwdriver, that might be a problem.
yeah. Over this next month, Sam, if someone buys a KONGen water machine and they use a Transact card that they buy through the app and they buy it outright, let's say it costs $5,500 for a K8 landed.
Mhm.
They get 11,000 Z bucks. Say it's somebody that's got some money and they're planning on buying a Kong machine and a travel trailer because they want to put their Kong machine in. They sold their house, they want to go travel or something like that. They buy that Kong machine with the you know, with the Transact card. They get 11,000 Z bucks. They could take those 11,000 Z bucks, go buy themselves a travel trailer in the Z Club, and use those 11,000 Z bucks against the cost of their travel trailer.
Interesting. Okay.
That's part of the plan right there. They'll be able to take those Z bucks and use them at American Airlines for their next flight. This is something that's going to rock people's worlds, brother. And we are all involved with this at the very, very beginning of it. It hasn't even launched yet. It's only been going for about 7 months. It launches officially on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of November down at the Paris in Las Vegas.
Okay. Well, thank you, JJ. I gotta head out. I gotta head to Olympia, but some interesting information. I know that people are struggling out there and they're looking for options, different ways of making income. And I know some of these things, they appear as, you know, it's a you know, a little bit odd. It's a little bit suspicious, especially when it comes to, like, you know, the industry that we're in. We're in the you know, the medical device industry. That's what I look at, because that's my background. You know, but people are suspicious initially, you know, but if they look into it a little bit deeper, then they might understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, for me to be involved, for me being a pharmaceutical scientist, to be involved in an AGIC is quite a big leap. And most people can't make that leap, you know, and so it's the same thing with any of these financial tools. Is if you can understand it and you can make that leap, then there's a big opportunity there because you'll be one of the early ones in understanding it. Yeah, what's you had a question there, what's?
Yeah, I was just gonna make a comment. You know, you talked early on at the outset of this thing, and you know, the people's perception about these machines is that they're always so expensive, you know, and you've got to let go of what you're buying daily, weekly, monthly, at least conceptually, to see how this translates. I can tell you that on November 13th, it'll be 15 years for me that I've had my machine. On average, we've saved anywhere from $250 to $300 a month on stuff that we used to buy prior to having the Enagic Ionizer. That translates into over a 15-year window, which is I'm knocking on 180 months. I'm at 179 months. It's basically $45,000 to $54,000, 250 to 300 a month that I've saved in that 14 months. I mean, that's basically, you know, I could buy 10 to 12 of these machines in that time. So it was really tangible for me to understand that, you know, once I got the concept in my head, well, if I'm not spending this 50, 60 bucks a month on bottled water, when I started doing the math, the skincare products, you know, and blah, 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 makeup removers and disinfectants and all the things that you're buying on a daily, month or a weekly and monthly level, the translation to the savings is very tangible on the backside. It's just getting people to understand that, you know, I know it might seem expensive now, but something I spent $4,000 on 15 years ago that's still producing and still replacing the costs of what I was buying as a consumer has been exceptional, you know. So I just think at the end of the day, that's one of the things that I try and help people understand is you might be struggling grasping the concept of this $4,000, $5,000 machine. But at the end of the day, like I said, my testimony of 15 years and saving anywhere from 45 to 54 grand in that said time, that's profound. And I don't care. I mean, that's a salary for somebody.
True.
But it took 15 years to do it. But at the same time, I was able to put, as a single dad, I'm able to put that money elsewhere toward my kids, toward, you know, what we're doing that isn't just wasting it on, you know, my bag of Funyuns and bottle of Dasani water and all the crap I'd buy every day, spending 10 to 12 bucks. And that was just me, not as a family. So it's really changed everything just that way.
Yeah, and that's you know, for me it was an easy. Well, I wouldn't say my paradigm shift was easy because I had to hit my head and go into a coma, but after that it was easy. You know, once you get your head cracked open, like then you realize, wow, staying healthy is much cheaper than, you know, being sick, and unfortunately we're dealing with, you know, we're dealing with a society now that's going to ignore the truth at their own peril, right? Like, you know, we've got all sorts of misinformation and all sorts of values, basic fundamental values, you know, male female thing being challenged. And I was like, well, hey,
they're proving cognitive dissonance is indeed a real thing.
Exactly, you know, and I tell them that you could deny the truth all you want, you know, but at some point the truth is going to hit you, and it's going to be either a very light tap on the shoulder, or it's going to be a crisis or a medical thing, and the truth is that no one lives forever. That's the truth, right? And so you're here for a short time to hopefully have a good time, find your purpose and do something that pushes the ball forward. And a lot of people, you know, they get hung up on the dollar. And I say, well, you know, do you go to church? Is your bank your church? Then you know, if it's not your church, then how come every decision that you make is based on the dollar? Right. So essentially, people are, you know, their mind is, they got the bank of the U.S. dollar, right? The U.S. you know, reserve note, right? And it's about to collapse. And unfortunately, people are going to take that heavy hit, that heavy lesson. And we're moving beyond the age of truth now. Like you can't get truth from anyone anymore. You know?
That's where you got to stay grounded in the tenets of, what our principles of truth are. And, some people, like scriptures getting attacked and all this. Hey, I got to tell you this, though. I find it funnier in hell because the old stereotype, every time I hit my head being 5 feet 20 inches on a door jamb or something like that, my dad would say, Jesus, I hope that knocks some sense into you. And it never did. But what you do is you prove that, with your incident, with your health, it did knock some sense into you. So there is some truth to that. And I think that's profound.
That's true. Yeah. So all I do is I try to offer people like a discount on life lessons, and so, but some people,
I paid the price. You can learn from it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If someone's gonna, if someone's not gonna wear their seatbelt and fly through the windshield, I mean, you want to have that, a lab, a personal lab where you test it out yourself, or you're gonna read the accident report and kind of buckle your seatbelt as a result, and I don't know, everyone's afraid of everything we do being a pyramid scheme. Meanwhile, they're on this pyramid scheme called a job, not realizing that they're on a pyramid scheme called a job.
At the bottom rung of that ladder, too.
Right. I know,
it's interesting you bring that up, because that's one of the things that is so cool about the Transact card is that the way it's set up, it's not even a pyramid structure. Literally, Eric Allen, the guy who was the very first DBO in this company, he's the guy that they put in charge of the field as far as marketing is concerned. And he was the very first person to get a DBO. And so literally everybody in this company is in his downline. You know what's cool though, is that he is actually in everyone else's downline. We're all in this thing together. And
you're just building the bank.
Everybody's downline. There is no, I mean, there is a downline, yes, but because of the way they've created the community bonuses and the way that they've created a system where every time a card gets swiped, a little piece of that money goes into even just the TCM members' pockets. And so it's not your typical network marketing company. It's not even a pyramid. It is like Eric Allen is in my downline, and I'm digging it because he's a heck of a marketer. So,
does this have anything to do with like in the transition from like, it's like my Cash App card, there's opportunities for digital currency, and then does it have any digital connector?
No,
You don't need to do
crypto.
none of that?
No
Good.
crypto. It's strictly fiat. Federal Reserve notes. It's part of the system. It's FDIC.
And so when the banking system crashes, like Sam alluded to, which is clearly imminent, I mean, it's crazy how much we pay. How are we running out of toilet paper when we print enough money that we could wipe our behind for years? It's about to be worth the paper that we are wiping our bums with, the fiat currency. So I guess my question is, when all this stuff buckles, the money that we have in our Transact card, is that going to be protected from it?
Well, I mean, it's a bank, just like any other bank. It just operates a little bit differently. As he said in that video, as Peter said, we're going to have our own bank identification number. We will be our own bank. And we have the ability to operate however we can operate. But, when it comes to keeping
still vulnerable to the crash. Yeah.
The ability to while everything is still moving the way it is, every time you purchase money, you're doubling your money. Every time you purchase something, you're getting 100% of that money back in a currency that you can use to put more money in your pocket so that you can buy gold, you can get yourself a Kong machine, you can use that money to
prepare.
stay ahead of inflation. I mean, and inflation is not rising prices, it's an increase in the amount of currency in circulation. And that's what causes the rising prices. And so anyway, if each time you buy something, you're getting 100% of that money back and you can utilize that money, obviously that's going to be something that's going to help you stay ahead of the curve. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I know that one of my big things is to go back to the gold standard. I'm already in that process, and every month I get silver landing on my doorstep. And this
I
is
wish
just
the Seattle Mariners would have utilized the concept of this transact curve, staying ahead of the curve, because their ass is behind the curve again for the, oh my God, they're the most brutal team to watch.
who's
I
that?
was so the Seattle Mariners, they got their failing, they faded hard down the stretch.
Oh, that's
They
too
were
bad.
hotter than a pistol, and then they just shit themselves. And yeah, here we are with another high quality Mariner team. They just got to get rid of their 7, 8, 9 hitters. Start bringing in some guys. But yeah, I digress.
Yeah.
Well, right on, you guys.
Well, thank you,
It's
guys.
been Sam. Have fun and careful travels up to Olympia, and God bless you, and thank you so much for all the hard work you do and all the generosity that you give us here. And
Your
look
time
forward
is
to next
valuable,
month.
and you
Yeah,
sharing
thank
it
you.
here. It's
No, that's
beautiful.
the most valuable thing I have. Every day, everyone's got 24 hours. We just gotta find a way to keep that 24 hours and do the stuff that we want to do.
Amen.
And so-
May I really quick, what your Zoom? How do I get access to your demo? Because if I can create windows, we got open gyms and stuff on Tuesdays, but I can still create.
Yeah.
I'd like to share some of your Zooms and get other people, because again, I
I'll,
know what kind of
I'll message
resource
you. I'll send you the link for. I think. Let me check here. I'll send you the link, but it should be. I think it's. Let me double check here. So it's yeah, it's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. this week. We alternate because the East
Your
Coast, West
time,
Coast.
7
7
p.m.
p.m.
your time.
Seattle time, Pacific time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah,
So
I'll send you the
Sam,
link.
send me that link too, so I can put it in the comments on this.
Okay.
This once the recording of this comes out, I can put it in the comments.
Yeah,
when
and
I
then
share it over.
I tell people I drink water. I drink water, and then if someone's going to pay me and be a professional water drinker, like sign me up. If someone's I sleep every night too. If someone wants to offer me one of those purple beds, like I'll take it. Yeah, just endorse the purple bed. I'll say okay, like I sleep professionally.
There we go.
Great.
All right,
All right,
kids.
guys.
Thank you,
I
guys.
love you guys so much.
Yeah.
God bless
Okay.
you, and have a great month. Have a great week. Have a great day.
Happy
We're here to make a
Rocktober.
difference, baby. That's what we're doing. We're making a difference.
That's
So
it.
That's it.
All right.
love
Bye,
you
guys.
guys. Bye for now. Hooty hoo.
Bye.